What is up, guys? Tonight I have decided to be a little secret when it comes to how I stream because unfortunately I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to put something out. And what better thing to put out than catch up with that one list of like 253 questions from this one article that are really good and engaging. So I thought I would resume where I believe I left off at. And the next question is, what is the first thing you notice about a person? About a person? Well, for me, the first thing that I notice about a person nowadays is how confident they are when they come forward with something. And it's not necessarily something secret to get someone in trouble or anything like that. Is how do you project yourself? How do you present yourself? Are you a confident person? Are you a patient person? Are you in a hurry? Are you having trouble focusing? Are you having a bad day and you're letting it rub off on other people? Things like that. What is the vibe that this person exudes? I tend to be pretty good about picking up on that. And most of the time, if someone comes off with a nasty attitude, they really don't mean it, but sometimes they do, and they do not want to take responsibility for it. And that's when I'm like, okay, this person just needs a lot of help. And honestly, I don't like to involve myself in those matters unless I'm actively asked to be involved. But I particularly love a person who is confident, but not overly confident, and also knows how to make jokes and not say something stupid because you're trying to start a small talk, but I don't know. Some people have a really odd way to start a conversation. For me, the best way to start a conversation is, of course, with a question, but ask a question that has substance. Don't say something stupid, especially if you ask something stupid because the person is young and perhaps because of their career. Just respect everybody equally. So yeah, that's the first thing I notice about someone. What kind of vibe do you give off? The next question is, what are some challenges you think the next generation will face? Well, definitely politics and how they're affecting things that are essential for your development, such as education, the environment, the availability of opportunities and resources, things like that. I feel like newer generations always have to face challenges that the previous generation didn't know about, that the previous generation also generated, but they have the toughest time accepting that it is their responsibility, for we are inheriting what our predecessors leave us with. And sometimes I fear that me, as a member of the current generation, what am I leaving behind for the future generation? I feel like I am not fulfilling my role, but then again, I'm still trying to decipher exactly what my role is. In the meantime, I just make sure that I stay a good human, and I think that contribution alone is doing a lot than I give credit for. What three habits will improve your life? Aha, very easy. First of all, get up early. It is unbelievable how much of a day goes wasted from oversleeping. I personally am guilty of this. Today, I had the day off and I did absolutely nothing. I got up super late for no reason, and then I'm like, holy crap, the day just went by very fast and I did not really accomplish much. I need to let go of the excuse of, well, I've been working hard and I'm tired. It's okay to be lazy. No. If I can show up to work when I'm tired and sick and miserable and get stuff done in my personal life, Although a lot of things do not have due dates and my performance is not being evaluated by anybody, I deserve to give better than my best in my time off, my personal time, because that is the time that truly matters. So, why do I give my best to others, but then when it comes to me, I give myself the worst treatment? I hate that about myself, and that's something that I am trying to change. Second, being on time to places. It goes pretty much hand in hand with waking up early for certain things. You cannot be somewhere on time if you don't get up on time. But I think that being on time to places ensures that things flow smoothly. And if you're going to be late, I think that no more than 10 minutes is acceptable as long as it doesn't become a pattern. There are some people who roam this world who are so bad with time that I just wonder how they are making it in the present. It not only is respectful, but so many people depend on your ability to be on time. And I guess most people think that is a trivial detail, but just do not keep people waiting. It's just not nice at all. And third, definitely take care of your body. Exercise, eat well, drink water, and get your sleep. I cannot say that I am perfect at all of that, but at least I can say that every day I eat, even if it's not the right stuff. I definitely work out more days out of the week than not. I used to work out every day of the week, but then I had to cancel one membership and I no longer can go on the weekends, but at least I get to keep going to the gym with another method. And it is amazing. I sometimes have to miss the gym, and every time I do, I feel like I have exercise withdrawal. It is an awful feeling because my body is just looking forward to using up the rest of the energy that I have. And when it comes to sleep, I mean, look at me now. I have to work tomorrow, but here I am doing this. But what I am currently doing, I actually do it with pleasure and I feel great doing this. So it doesn't feel like it's negligent. It feels like a sacrifice that in the long run makes me feel fulfilled. And let's see, what did I say? Um, Exercise, eating well, and taking care of your body by sleeping. And shoot, I forgot. Oh, drinking water. Your body pretty much thanks you every time you drink water. This, out of my aforementioned, is definitely the one that I am worst at. I remember a time when I used to be perfect at it, but I don't know why I'm such a mess of a person now. But at least I take water with me everywhere, and I do not go to a place and I'm like, oh my god, I need water urgently. I'm so irresponsible. I don't have a source of water with me. I can usually remedy it. The problem is remembering to drink it. But it's not because I don't have it with me in the first place. That's different. Next question is, for what in your life do you feel most grateful for? Definitely my mother. Because if I would have had a mother who did not have the traits that my mother had, there is just no telling where I would be right now. And looking back, I understand everything that we had to go through. And although we still have ways to go, I have faith that everything is going in the right direction, and she makes it seem so easy and chill and laid back, and I'm enjoying the ride. It's very peaceful, and there is just no way I can imagine it being better without her leadership. If you could have lunch with one person alive or dead, who would it be? I usually say someone like Jim Morrison or Princess Diana. A lot of people say Princess Diana, and I can see why. For I myself feel curious about it, I would opt for that. But I think I would like to hear more from Jim because of his poetry. I have so many questions. Maybe one day I can make a video about interpreting some of his lyrics and see what you guys think. And of course, share what I think and just make it interesting. There is so much interesting stuff that can be pulled out of that. What is your favorite season and why? Spring, because of the temperature and because it tends to be a rainy season, and I enjoy how green everything looks. Beautiful green. Do you have any guilty pleasures? I've always had a little bit of a conflict with what guilty pleasures are. To me, if something pleases you, you shouldn't feel guilty about it just because most of society tends to find it something that can be harshly criticized. Like, I know that one example of a guilty pleasure that is rather controversial in my eyes is when people say, well, this person is unconventional when it comes to their attractiveness, but I find myself pleased by this person. Other times it's a really bad movie or a really bad song, and you watch it or listen to it and you feel great about it. Who cares? What does it matter? Why would you want to label it as a guilty pleasure? You know, just no. So for me, guilty pleasure, it's kind of odd because it can stretch to more things than just movies and music. And that's why I mentioned the example of you never want to be associated with someone who like hangs out with folks who don't really match with you. There's people out there who are obsessed about you being paired up with someone who looks really nice or, stupid stuff like that. And I think that it's an unfair metric to have on someone. But anyway, I will expand on that on another occasion. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? I never know how to answer that question. So if I have answered it before, which I probably have, I'm pretty sure I'm changing it now, but I think I would stick to chicken and pesto pizza. What's the number one item that you would save from your burning house? Definitely, I don't want to say my cell phone because it's so easy to run out with that. It's usually on me. But if I had to say an item that is limited to my home, shoot, I don't know. Probably my bag that has my laptop, only because that would really help me reset my life in an instant. I will need to do a lot of reading comfortably, and it's probably the priciest item that I can save that I cannot immediately replace, but it will be very useful. It's like it's a utility that it's a necessity, and my phone can only get me so far. So I think I would stick to my laptop. What really makes you angry? I'm not really an angry person. Like physically angry. I've only gotten angry one time in my life. Maybe twice, but I can actively remember one time. But outside of that, I may be peeved, but it usually just lingers in the mild level. I'm never someone who's like so angry that I cry, so angry that my face is red. I don't like to be frustrated like that because I know how harmful it is for my health. And the times that I have been angry, the feeling was just too awful for me to wish to repeat that pattern. So I stay away from it. But if I had to express what really irritates me, I want to say people's behavior. Why is it that some people actively try to make someone else's life bad, challenging, negative, impossible, intolerable, complicated, full of obstacles? Just things like that, people's behavior. Why can't you not be normal? If you fit any of those categories that I just mentioned, that annoys me, but I cannot say it makes me angry. The only way it would make me angry is if you somehow hurt someone I know. So, definitely, if you mess with someone who is very important to me, I'm not saying it's okay to mess with people who are not important to me because I just straight up don't like any bullies. But just don't mess with my treasured things, especially if I'm there, because we're going to have a problem. What makes you laugh the most? This is kind of a difficult question for me to answer because I'm not someone who's like carrying this notebook of these are the things that make me laugh, so I gotta watch out for this and react to it as soon as I see it. But one of the things that really makes me laugh the most is the way that people put together their interpretation of movies, politics, tragedies, even. And it's not that tragedies are to be made fun of, it's just that sometimes when a long time has gone by after, say, a disaster, there is something that can be taken out of that. And I enjoy when people add their little twist to it. To name an example, the Titanic. It sank, but movies have been made about it. And from those movies made about it, people have made parodies out of it. I thoroughly enjoy people's creative process and the sense of humor thrown into those parodies. I'm not enjoying humor straight from the tragedy. Like, it's not like something about the historical facts about the Titanic is what I'm using to me. It is the artistic twist that such a story has generated for us. Had the Titanic not sank, certain videos that I thoroughly enjoy would not exist. And those videos have undoubtedly been among the funniest things I have ever seen in my life. So hopefully that clarifies any misconception that could have possibly been triggered from what I was saying. But also people's impressions of other people. I am an absolute fan, lover of that stuff. And I even try to engage on it myself. But there's some people who can do really good impressions of other people, and I just love it with every fiber of my being. Aside from necessities, what one thing could you not go a day without? This is this is wild. This forces me to think a little bit. But I guess the one thing that is important in my day that I cannot let go of, um, it would be communicating with my loved ones. Say, if I had to be in jail or prison or just confined and unable to communicate with my loved ones for extended periods of time, that would undoubtedly depress me and generate lots of anxiety. So I would say that not communicating with my loved ones is absolutely something I cannot go a day without. I can be isolated if I am deliberately isolating myself because I have something going on that's different, but absolutely not reporting to my loved ones is difficult for me. Are you a clean or messy person or in between? In between, but there are some things that I just do not mess with their integrity. Kitchen, I keep it clean. My room, it's definitely in between because there are some things that are dusty, but there are some things that are absolutely well kept and maintained and are not negotiable. The bathroom, definitely I keep it more on the clean side, but it's impossible to keep it absolutely clean. But it's not like you'll go into my bathroom and you'll see something shocking and filthy. The worst thing that happens is occasionally some mold forms, so I have to call that in and get it taken care of because it's normal. It's a breeding ground for that type of thing. Mold or mildew, whatever is applicable for that. Um, and of course, the occasional little dark spots that form on like the floor and the edges of the bathtub and stuff. Nothing that a good scrub cannot take care of. But like I've said, it's not like you're going to walk into my bathroom and you'll see something shocking. That is never the case. My car, it's definitely on the messy side from the point of view of we just had fall and winter, so a lot of leaves got in, and I have not really been in the position to do much vacuuming. The exterior of it could also use some help, but it's been raining so much lately that I don't have to really worry about that. But I'm undoubtedly an in between person. I am not one of those people who religiously keeps everything clean, but I am certainly not someone who walks by a mess and doesn't do anything about it. So, finding an extreme mess, except for my room, because it is my office in a sense. And this is where I keep inventory, among other things, that I just do not care to just throw onto one corner. As long as I have space on the floor to walk and just live in here, I'm fine. So I'm definitely not under the messy category. And as a worker, my working stations are always neat and tidy. So I can pride myself in that. What does a successful relationship look like to you? A successful relationship to me is the one where you are absolutely comfortable, confident, and peaceful with the person. Confidence comes from your ability to rely on this person in the same manner that this person can rely on you, and trust. The comfortable aspect comes from you literally being able to have an open ended communication with someone. Not everybody can handle dissent, differing values, stuff like that. And it's definitely a source of frustration in some cases when you encounter someone who is intolerant. But for me personally, I look at it as a challenge that I very proudly accept and just put myself out there. And let's see, what else did I say? Confidence, comfort, and peace. If you're going to be in a relationship in which you feel like you cannot trust what the other person does the moment they walk out the door, you don't belong with that person. This person should amplify your feelings of success, peace, and things like that. And in addition, something else that I value in relationships is when someone celebrates your achievements, but also someone who, quote unquote, laments things with you, cries things with you. And it's not from the point of view of this person gets depressed and sinks and is miserable with me. Misery likes company. Nothing like that. It's the fact that I can count on this person's empathy sympathy, respect, comprehension, and care so that I can live a better life in the midst of challenges. And definitely the aspect of sharing. That is what a successful relationship looks like to me. One in which you don't ever get reproached for anything. And I mean anything. Well, you guys, I'm going to conclude this right here. I'm at 25 minutes now, and it's about 12:30 for me now, and I definitely need to get some sleep. Thanks so much for tuning in. Sorry that I had to hide from you and film in the dark. I can see my head floating here and there. I have a candle lit. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy sharing my thoughts with these kinds of questions because I don't read them ahead. I don't know what kind of questions are coming. I am filming this live and I enjoy seeing how quickly I can put my mind together and think about things and retain things. When I enumerate things, I have the toughest time remembering what I said unless I have it written down, and I never ever have a script unless it's a really extensive video and I am pre recording it. And then I read down a list so that I can make sure I don't miss anything. But usually, my script is not me reading exactly what I'm going to say. It's like bullet points of the things that I need to mention and expand on. So, in a sense, this helps me improve my speaking skills and thinking skills, especially on the spot. All right, I'll see you guys soon.